Well, hello booktube, hello book friends. Welcome or welcome back to my channel for another video. And as it's Tuesday, it's Tag Tuesday, or rather Twofer Tag Tuesday. I was tagged by Debs at Rainer Read Stuff for the Bookish Elements Tag, and she also did the hold my place tag in the same video. So she did two tags as I'm going to try and do. And she didn't tag me in the second one, but they kind of dovetail quite nicely together. So I think I'm going to do the same as she did. Oh, hello. Say hello. No? What's up? What's up? Okay. This is Sam, who's very interested in something. I'm not quite sure what. What do you want? Do you want that? No? I haven't got anything. I haven't got any treats. No. We should try and carry on. Let's just tip that back up a bit. So yeah, I'm going to try and do both. Good boy. Going to try and do both tags in one video. Whoa. Sorry, distracted by the dog. So yes, so I'm going to do the Bookish Elements tag, and then I'm going to do the hold my place tag, because there's some, you'll see, or read the description and the prompts and you'll see what I mean. But I think there's 8. Are you going to be distracting? Are you going to be distracting? Good boy. Sit down. And the question is, do I edit out all of this or I just leave it in? There's 8 prompts for each, and tag other people. So I'll have a think about who I'm going to tag, but we'll get to that because that's a way off. So Bookish Elements Tag. This was originally created by Sarah at My Granny Era, and as I say, I was tagged by Debs at Rainer Reads Stuff. So, prompt number 1. How do you feel about foreshadowing or dropped hints? I have no strong feelings either way, to be honest. I think it depends on the book. It depends on the author and how it fits in with the story. I've had some books where it works phenomenally well, and others where it just really grated. I'm trying to think of examples, and I can't really. I think there are a few where you almost know from the first page, particularly if it's a whodunit, who did it, and then you're following through the procedural stuff with the cop or whoever's investigating, and you kind of want to shout at the book, saying, well, it's obviously who did it, because they and sometimes that grates and sometimes it's really cleverly done. So I don't have a strong feeling either way. It very much depends on what I like. A mystery where I can work it out as the book unfolds, and I like it when I get it right. Who doesn't? So I like that kind of a story. So I don't like sometimes to be told too much. I like to have the same clues as the detective or whoever, and get to my conclusions as to who did it. And then sometimes there's a twist at the end, and what annoys me sometimes is where there's a twist at the end that it's like there to we thought you thought it was going to be so and so, but we're going to do this, and and that sometimes that really gets to me, because it's like, no, It obviously wasn't them. They couldn't have done it for whatever reason. You just did it. You just changed the story to catch everybody out? You know, I think there was a twist at the end of the Inspector Peccola mystery that I read a couple of weeks ago, which is like the reason I would have given that book, probably would have given that book 4 or 5 stars, and I only gave it 3 because of the twist at the end. Because it's like, no, you said all the way along that the detective, knew so and so from, for very many years, and then didn't recognise him. And he hasn't had plastic surgery. He hasn't been disfigured in an accident. He would have recognised him, or he would have recognised that it wasn't him. So yeah, that got to me a bit, and it cost. Although the book was fantastic, and I will read more in that series. If he does that again, I won't be a very happy boy. Anyway, sorry. Prompt number 2, not getting through these very quick. Prompt number 2, bookmarks. What do you use? How do you feel about bending the corner down? Given that the whole second tag is about bookmarks, I'm not going to talk too much about that. Bending the corner down, I don't do that. It doesn't bother me when I get a book that's got, you can see that somebody's bent the corners down. It bothers me if it's a library book, because you shouldn't ever do anything like that to a library book. You shouldn't be annotating a library book. You shouldn't, no, not library books. No. If it's your own book that you're going to keep, or you're just going to, give away to a charity shop, then fine. But not library books. No. 3, forgotten bookmarks. Have you ever found something strange in a book? I don't think I've ever found anything. It depends what you mean by strange. I don't think I've ever found anything strange. I do buy a lot of second-hand books, and do occasionally find, things that people have used as a bookmark. Rail tickets used to be really common. I don't seem to see those quite so much now, I guess because everybody has their rail tickets on an app on their phone. I did get a book that had somebody's boarding card for a flight, and their details of their hotel reservation in, and I can see, that sort of thing. I can see why that happens. You maybe take a book with you, or pick one up in the airport to take with you on the flight, and you automatically, the boarding card again. Don't see that. I don't think you see that quite so much, because it's all on. Everybody's carrying it on their phone. So yeah. So those. I've never found anything strange. Like I don't know what constitutes strange. Probably find something now. Severed leg. That would be strange, but you'd probably notice that, wouldn't you? Inscriptions and annotations. How do you feel about writing in a book, and how do you annotate if you do? I do sometimes. Where did I put it? So I think I've shown this on the channel before. This is one of my favourite books. And this has got an annotation or 2 in. So it's got, I don't know if you can see, I've annotated there. And if it wasn't for that map, a second-hand ordnance survey given as a Christmas present, maybe none of this would have happened. So this has got quite a bit in for me. It's also got some notes that I made. I tend to read with a notebook and pencil nearby, and will often write things in that. I also have one of these. Take it out of its box. I have one of these, which probably isn't going to show up on the screen very well, which is a stamp for stamping in the front of a book. So again, this has got So that's what it looks like. So mine's a raven. So yeah, I tend to do that, but only books that I know I'm going to keep. Will I do that? And that's just, I know it's mine. Well, of course I know it's mine. It's in my house. So yeah, so I tend to do that. It doesn't bother me because I guess because I do it. I tend to do it more on non-fiction books than fiction. I've also got a few other things which I'll talk about in another prompt, so I won't do too much about that. So yeah, that's that. Introductions and footnotes. Do you read them or avoid them? What makes a good introduction? I do. I don't tend to read the introduction before I start reading the book, and if it's fiction. If it's non-fiction, I might, depending on the book and who the introduction's by and so on. I find sometimes you if you particularly with fiction, that whoever writes the introduction gives away half the plot and the ending before you've even started the book. So I tend to go back and read the introductions and fiction books after I've read the book. Footnotes, yes, again, if they're relevant. I don't like too many footnotes at the bottom of the page. I've had books that have come and it's half a page of text and half a page of footnotes. And you kind of think, no, put them at the end. If there's that much you want to say, either put it in the text and explain, as part of the text, or stick them at the end of the book in an endnotes section. Don't. There's no point in having half a page of footnotes because they're probably relevant. So yeah, this is turning a bit ranty. Sorry. What makes a good introduction? One that doesn't spoil the book, basically. Maybe gives you a bit more context about the time it was written and the author and so on. Accessories. Do you use bookish accessories like a clip-on reading light, book sleeve? What's a book sleeve? Don't know what a book sleeve is. Annotation materials, bookstand, etc. I have a clip-on reading light here. Very good it is too. Both my wife and I have one of these because inevitably it'll only be one of us who stays up late reading while the other one's trying to get to sleep. So we have that. Saves having the bedside light on, which is a bit too much light when somebody else in the room is trying to sleep. So yeah, I have that. What else do I have? And then kind of stuff for annotating. So I've got some sticky notes, some of these book flags, some book dots. These are really good because you can put these in a book and you can take them out. They don't leave a sticky residue behind, same as those don't. Some of them leave a bit of a residue behind and then you get pages stuck together. I've also got some of these postcards which have space on the back for writing notes. I find these really useful. I bought a few of those in a series, and they're all people, all famous pictures of people reading. So yeah. Oops, it's not Jacob Rees-Mogg. Hasten to add. So yeah, so I've got a few of those. That's it, I think, for sort of annotation things. I tend to use, if I'm annotating writing in a book, I will use a pencil more than a pen. I also very often, I had notes in that one. This is my copy of John le Carré's Silver View, and when this came out, there was an article in the Times So now, if you're not in the UK, you probably won't know this, but the times in the UK, I can do this without getting in a terrible muddle. The times in the UK, can you read that? No, not really. The Times in the UK is behind a paywall on the internet, so you have to pay to read it. So I actually, and I wanted to read this, so I actually went out, bought a copy of the paper, and clipped that out, and I keep that in my copy of Silverview. So I do that sometimes if there's an article relevant to a book that I'm reading. If it's on my Kindle, I use the highlight feature, and then when I finish the book, I export all of those to a service that I use called clippings.io, which then sends them to Evernote, which I then have a massive database of all the kind of quotes and things that I thought were relevant from my Kindle books. So I tend to do it more with Kindle books, actually. But I get on with it because it's just simpler to press your finger and, I don't know. Anyway, so I do that as well. I guess that was for 4 rather than 6. 7, art and illustrations. How do cover art and illustrations affect your reading experience? I've definitely bought books on the strength of the cover art. Sometimes I've been rewarded and sometimes I've regretted the decision. Illustrations. I do love illustrations. As I've said multiple times, I follow kind of war artists and things like that, and those a lot of them became artists or illustrators, particularly of books, after whatever conflict they were in, and yeah, I seek out their work if I can find it. So yeah, I like it basically. I don't. It's personal taste, I guess. There are some that I don't like, and will put me off buying a book, as much as some that would encourage me to buy a book. Format. Which format of books do you prefer? Hardback, paperback, audio, digital? Do you do different things for different situations? What do I don't think I have a strong preference. Paperback or digital tends to be my book of choice, but I've got lots of hardbacks, as you can see behind me. I don't listen to audiobooks as much as I used to. I used to travel quite a bit, and would either have an audiobook or an ebook, just because it's much easier to carry that than a paperback or a hardback, but not exclusively. There was a time pre-COVID where I still have 2 Kindles. One that would live in my work bag, and one that would be by the side of my bed. And I would use the what's it called, WhisperSync, to link between the two, so that I would never, because I'm terrible. I'll forget to put it in my bag in the morning when I go to work or go to catch a train or whatever. So I was in the fortunate, privileged position of being able to have 2. So although I bought them quite a long way away, quite a long period apart. So yeah, I've done that. And I used to, when I was traveling in the car, I used to listen to audiobooks a lot rather than music or radio, but I don't travel as much now, so it doesn't tend to be. And I found that my audiobooks have got stacked up that I first I paused the subscription and then I cancelled it just because I wasn't using up my credits. and it tended to be non-fiction in the car rather than fiction. So that's that. I'll tag at the end of both, can then give people a choice of what they want to do. I think that's the best way to do it. So then this is hold my place tag, and this is about bookmarks and things. So hold my place tag was created by Heather at Heather Reads and Meg at Books Off the Beaten Path. And I wasn't tagged for this one, but as I said, Debs tagged me for the other one and did this one at the same time, so I'm going to do the same thing. So, do you know how many bookmarks you own? Absolutely no idea at all. I have, and this is only a small selection of bookmarks. So I've got hundreds of the things, you know. So, and you know, which of your bookmarks do you like using most, and why? I've got to find examples of them now. I make bookmarks from, someone buys me a Christmas present, birthday present, whatever present. I will make bookmarks out of the wrapping paper if I like the wrapping paper. So I've got a few that, these are some of my favourites, because I'm a Star Wars fan as well. And a few years ago, my wife wrapped I think it was my birthday presents, in some really funky Star Wars wrapping paper. So you can work out, you know, Luke Skywalker, Stormtrooper, Boba Fett, Princess Leia, Darth Vader, C-3PO. They're all bears. So I've made a few of those, and I've got quite a few of those. And then again, I think this was birthday paper. I used to make them and just not do anything with them, or I'd just seal them with sellotape, and that didn't work very well. And then I got given a what are they called, laminator. So I've got one I bought back from a trip to Arnhem. It probably says it on there, doesn't it? Which was I didn't go for the 70th anniversary, but it was just after. There was a work trip. It was just after the 70th anniversary, and picked that up in. There was a little museum under the bridge at Arnhem. I don't know whether was just for that period, or whether it's because it's like almost like in a garage. So yeah, pick that up there. I picked some of these up. These are Clive's cats. So I'm a Pisces. So kind and athletic with nice socks. Known to make up songs about muffins and paint flowers on old people. Ideal pet, elk. Ideal smell, onion. Lucky noise, clunk. Lucky donut, jam. And don't ask. There's one there, pickled onions. Make life more fun. You can fill in the blanks. And then I've got a few of these. Snowman and the Snow Dog. Some Marvel comics. This one made out of sellotape. What else have I got? These I mentioned before. So those. This is this year's Christmas wrapping paper. And sometimes that's a Christmas card from a friend that I like the picture, so I laminated that. So yeah, I've got hundreds of things. I think I've skipped a bit. If you can show off a bookmark you own, which is an example of a bookmark you received as a gift. Yes, I have one of those. This is very old. And this was bought back. I don't know how old I would have been. I reckon I was under 10. and this was from the Butterfly Museum in Guernsey on the Channel Islands, and this was brought back by at the time, our next door neighbours, because obviously we were pet sitting or whatever for them while they were away. It's about the only leather bookmark. I don't tend to have leather bookmarks, but it's a very traditional style because it's got the, what do you call that? I don't know, frilly edge. So this is probably 40 plus years old at least. So yeah, I've received that as a gift. Have I got any others that I've received? I suppose all the ones that are Christmassy card things you could say are gifts. I've got quite a few complimentary ones that have come from different places, but yeah. So that's that. Something that is not meant to be a bookmark, but that you have used as a bookmark. Well, again, see previous answer. Lots of things. I tend to use index cards as well. So, use those. So I've got one in my current read, The Count of Monte Cristo, which has got page count and things on, just because I'm trying to keep track of how much I'm reading and how far I'm getting. But no, I don't think I use odd thing. I will occasionally just like put something in the book to hold the place while I go and get a cup of tea or something like that. I've got trading cards. There's a Captain America with a Winter Soldier trading card that somebody gave me. That's not really supposed to be a bookmark. I often use, as well as the wrapping paper, I'll keep the tags if there are tags on the presents and use those. So yeah. A bookmark advertising a bookstore. Yes, I have a bookstore that no longer exists. This is Volume 1 Bookshop. There are a few of these in our local area. Ultimately, I think they became Ottica's Bookstore, were bought by Ottica's Bookstore, and then Waterstones. So they're all of the, well, certainly the one that I used to go to the most, which is probably where this came from, is now a Waterstones. It was a Volume 1, it was an Ottica's, and then it became a Waterstones. I've got, back in the day when they didn't sell as much stuff, an Amazon one. Yeah, that's it. A bookmark that holds your place using magnets. Yes, I have some of those somewhere. He says, there we go. I don't use them very often. So yeah, these are all natural history related, or dinosaurs or whatever. So there's parrots and penguins and frogs and saber-toothed tigers and cave paintings and things like that. So these just they just double, and you know how this works. You clip them over the page, and yeah. A bookmark that has your name and initials. Yes, I've got one of those. This one, here's one I made earlier. So yeah, I made this when I was I don't know, again, this is probably 40 odd years old. This was given to me as a kit for Christmas, probably. And it's where like, is it cross stitch? I don't know. And then, so I did this bit, and then my mum very kindly made it a bit more durable, backed it and stitched it all together for me, because that was kind of probably beyond or I would have just made a hash of it. So yeah, got one of those. That's got my name on it. Oh, that's it. Do you have any special purpose bookmarks, or do you designate certain bookmarks for certain kind of books? Well, as I say, I like using these ones a lot, and I've got a lot of those. I tend to use these in non-fiction books because then I can write on them if I haven't got my notebook nearby. But no, generally, whatever. I mostly use these. I love those. I've lost my place. 5, 4, 5, 5. Do you use anything unusual as a bookmark? No, not really. Yeah, no, don't think so. Oh, I keep losing my place. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes because they're on the screen, and then the camera's over here, and it's like tennis. Are there any types of bookmarks that you don't like? Example, a vegan. Not. Yeah, I don't like using leather bookmarks. Just because I don't think an animal should die just to produce a bookmark that is probably better as a piece of paper or card or whatever. Not, don't like using. That's why. Are there types of bookmarks you do not own but would like to, or types of bookmarks you would like to have more of? I'd love another sheet of this wrapping paper, but I don't think you can get it anymore. And make small bookmarks out of it. Types of bookmarks? I don't think so. I'm just like, I think I've got enough, to be fair. It's just, you can't see this mess on my desk in front of me, but if you read ebooks, are you happy or unhappy with how your e-reading device handles bookmarks? If unhappy, what do you wish you would change? And optional question added, are you happy or unhappy with the way audiobooks handle bookmarks? I don't really use the bookmark function in either. I tend to just rely on the e-reader or the player or whatever to remember where I was, and generally don't have a problem with that. I use the annotation thing quite a lot, particularly in ebooks. So yeah, I tend to use that more than the bookmark function. I do use the bookmark function in really big ebooks, just so that I can find things again more easily, particularly if there's a references section at the end. I'll bookmark the references section so that I can get to that more easily if it's not working, because sometimes you can't press the little icon. It just doesn't realize that you've pressed the icon rather than try to turn the page or whatever. So yeah, I'll use bookmarks for that. So I think on ebooks, kind of happy with it. I don't use it that much, but when I do it tends to work. I don't really use it at all on audiobooks, to be honest, and I've kind of not listened to an audiobook for so long that I'm not even sure I remember how it works. So I will tag some people, I think, in the description. I don't know who's done this. I know a few people who've done it, but I don't, because I've seen their videos. But yeah, I will tag some people, and that's it. If you've got any questions, or how do you use bookmarks, or you want to do this tag, then feel free. If I haven't tagged you, feel free to just go for it. Or tags, there's 2, isn't there? Just go for it, one or the other or both. Fill your boots, and let me know, and I look forward to watching your videos. But if you've made it this far, thank you for watching. Sorry about the interruptions at the start. Like I say, stop recording early in the morning. If you have been, thanks for watching, and I will speak to you again soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.